Hey everyone, this is Jeevakan. In today's video, we'll discuss about some of the stocks which I invested lately after a proper breakout. So we'll discuss about these stocks in detail. So let's get right into the video. So in my previous videos, I've mentioned that Nifty once it reaches 70,600, I'll be moving most of my funds from weaker stocks to the stronger stocks. So what do I mean by weaker stocks? Weaker stocks in the sense I've invested most of my funds into some of the smaller cap stocks which are too riskier, which I'll be moving to some of the large cap as well as some of the decent valuation stocks. So many stocks have rallied a lot in the last 1 week. So we'll discuss about some of the stocks in detail which I've invested. So let me just share the screen and discuss about these stocks in detail. So the first stock we'll be seeing is LTI. So LTI has rallied almost 250% from Corona levels. So it has rallied almost exactly 280%, almost 300% from the previous Corona levels. And the correction was also massive recently. It has corrected almost 50% from the recent high. So this is a huge correction considering the other IT stocks. But now exactly at this point, it is sitting at an exact support level and has given a huge breakout. As you can see here. Here LTI has taken a support once, twice, thrice, almost 3 or 4 times LTI has taken support at this region. When it comes to where I invested, so I missed investing at these levels. So I should have invested at these levels, but the fear was really high at this level because the market was falling like a knife. So I was waiting for a proper breakout and a consolidation so that I can enter for long-term investments. And here I saw a consolidation and a breakout 2 or 3 weeks back, exactly around 28th July levels. I didn't enter over here. I waited for it to consolidate or like give a retracement. So this was a proper retracement. This red candle over here is a proper retracement. And I entered, so I didn't enter over here as well because it might even be a fake breakout. So I waited for it to close above this red candle. So as soon as LTI crossed above this red candle, I entered over here somewhere around 4,600 levels, and within the next 5 or 10 days it has gone up to 5,000 levels, which is almost 8 to 10% returns. And the next target for LTI would easily be somewhere around 6,500, which is almost 15% from these levels. So even now it is looking really good, and if Nifty corrects somewhere around 16,800, obviously LTI will be available at 4,500 levels again. Then that would be the right time to purchase LTI for long-term investments because this is available at cheap prices, and at the long term, obviously IT stocks would outperform. So this is the first stock, so it's better to enter on the retracement rather than entering now itself at this high. So if you enter around 4,800, obviously it will correct up to 4,500, which is almost 10% from this level. So it's always better to enter at retracement levels than entering at highs. And the next stock would be Muthoot Finance. Muthoot Finance also exactly bounced from important support levels because this has been an important support for a long time. If you can see here, it has bounced once, twice, thrice, 4 and 5 times from these levels. But here, this was a fake breakout on the downside, clearly. Because it seemed like it broke out on the downside and Muthoot Finance would go down all the way down to 800 or 700 levels, but it turned out to be a fake breakout, and again it closed above the support level. So I was waiting for Muthoot Finance to close above the support level of 1100. So it closed firmly above 1100 of 120 or something like that. So I entered exactly at 1120 levels 2 days back. So it has given almost 1% or 2% return, and I believe that obviously it would outperform in the long run. So it would easily go back to 1,500 or 1,600, which is easily 50 or 60% returns. Even though Muthoot Finance is risky, since the company's financial performance is particularly vulnerable to volatility in interest rates as well as gold prices, it is looking good for long-term investments. I invested around 1,120 levels, so I will be holding it for long-term, at least for few years. It might easily be crossing its all-time high if the trend continues. And when it comes to its fundamentals, this looks really good. The stock PE is also trading at 11 rupees, which is really good. And there are no cons here. So among its peers, it is the only stock which has low PE, as you can see at 11.6. The other stocks are trading at 20, 50, something like that. So Muthoot Finance is pretty cheap at this level. And when it comes to the overall net profit, over the years has been increasing rapidly, as you can see here. From 2000 level, I'm not seeing a huge decline in profits. It has been increasing steadily over the years. As you can see in the last 4 years, it has increased rapidly To be honest, from 2019 it has almost doubled in March 2022. This is a good stock to invest in, even though there's much volatility around. And the third stock is M&M. Unfortunately, this stock has almost rallied like anything in the last 10 days because it had a huge breakout at this level. The previous all-time high was somewhere around 990 or 1000 rupees. So I missed investing around this level of 1010. So I invested in this dip around 1080 levels. So when I thought of making this video 1 week back, M&M was around 1120 levels around this dip. But unfortunately it rallied almost 15% because of the latest news which we received, which is nothing but Mahindra Scorpio clocks 1 lakh bookings worth 18,000 crores within 30 minutes. That's a huge thing. So the profits would rapidly increase for this stock going forward. So whenever there is a dip around 1100 1200 levels, it's better to buy this stock. So I invested only around 50,000 or 40,000 in all these three stocks. In M&M I bought only 40 quantities, and in Muthoot Finance I bought somewhere around 50 quantities, and in LTI I bought somewhere around 10 quantities. So because since Nifty had a huge move, it might even consolidate a bit, and Nifty might come down to 16,800 or 17,000 levels. That time I might be averaging if my stocks are in loss. So it's better for us to buy in small chunks rather than buying it one go. So these are the stocks which I invested. Hope you'll find it useful. So these are the stocks which I invested. These are all decent valuation stocks which will give you decent returns in the long term. So never expect it to give decent returns in the short term, because I am expecting retracement after a huge rally, because Nifty has rallied almost 1800 points from this previous low. So it has to cool down a little. So it has to come down to 16,800 or at least 17,000. When it comes down to 16,800 or 17,000, these stocks will be available at decent prices. Then you can purchase it rather than going for it and buying it right away. So this is all for educational purposes only. So this is not a stock recommendation. I'm just sharing my views on what all stocks I purchased recently. So thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you'll find it useful. Signing off until next time. Cheers.